So why should we care about the Pre-Socratics? The history of philosophy is filled with a wide variety of philosophers giving us many different insights, so why should we sort of waste our time with this group of philosophers who ultimately get things wrong, right? They don't even get a real name. They just get named after someone who does matter, Socrates, and the fact that they came before Socrates, hence the name Pre-Socratics. So who are these people? Many of them come from the same geographical area of Ionia, specifically Miletus, but this isn't true for all of them. For instance, Heraclitus comes from Ephesus. They do ask many of the same questions when it comes to cosmology, essentially the question of where does or what is the original substance. So you have someone like Thales who says it's water with its ability to freeze into a solid or transform into a vapor. And then you have someone like Ximenes who says, no, it's ultimately air, the idea of, it's everywhere and we all need it. And then you have someone like Heraclitus who says, no, it's fire because of his philosophy of flux and the idea that everything is always constantly moving. And if you watch any fire at a campfire, right? We all know that fire is constantly moving, and also the idea that fire has the ability to transform things. And while this is all interesting, we ultimately know that these are all wrong, right? So why should we continue studying the Pre-Socratics, right? So three sort of reasons. First is the idea that this is not all that they have to offer, right? These cosmological questions is not the entirety of their philosophy. We even mentioned with Heraclitus, just talking about fire, he is addressing a different philosophical concept of reality and how things are in constant flux. Second, there's a philosophical lineage from the Pre-Socratics onwards. In fact, much of what we know about the Pre-Socratics comes from discussions of Plato and Aristotle, and this philosophical lineage extends to other philosophers like Nietzsche and Heidegger. And then lastly, the idea of their questions, what they're ultimately looking for, the philosophical pursuit of what reality is. And while their conclusions may be wrong, it's the philosophical questioning is what we could sort of glean from. So the Pre-Socratics have much to offer, despite the fact that we can also disagree on some of the things that they've said.